Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel once again with another new topic. Hope you're all doing good. So, today we are back with our hematology part 3. So, let's get started. Before starting the video, I would like to request you to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Keep supporting me. Thank you, friends. So, friends, our first question is thick smears are useful in detecting what? So, friends, as you all know that we'll be making two types of smear, right? One is thick smear and one is thin smear. So, friends, thick smears are they are mainly used to detect infection and to estimate the parasitemia or to detect the presence of the parasites. Okay, then coming to thin smears, these are used to identify the malarial species and also recognize parasite forms like cyzones and gametocytes. Okay, friends, so here the question is thick smears are useful in detecting option A malaria parasite, option B microfilaria, option C A and B, and option D none of the above, that is none. So the right answer is answer C, that is A and B malarial parasite and also microfilaria is the right answer. So our next question is 32nd question. Nucleated red cell is known as option A erythroblast, option B reticulocyte, option C erythrocyte, and option D all. So nucleated red cell is also called as option A, that is erythroblast. Moving to our 33rd question. How much time is required for maturation of RBCs from pronormoblast? So here they are asking the time period from the RBCs to get mature. Okay, your option is option A 7 days, option B 10 days, option C 2 days, and option D 1 day. So friends, the right answer is 7 days is the correct time for the RBCs to get mature, that is to get matured RBCs from their pronormoblast to matured RBCs. Moving to our 34th question. What is the average size of a normal RBC? Average size of a normal RBC. Option A 7 micron, option B 10 micron, option C 4 microns, and option D 1 micron. So friends, the right answer is that is 7 micron is the average size of our normal RBC. Moving to our 35th question. What is the lifespan of a RBC? Option A 120 days, option B 145 days, option C 8 days, and option D 10 days. So friends, the right answer is answer A 120 days. Moving to our 36th question. Name the supravital stain used to identify reticulocytes. Friends, what do you mean by reticulocytes? Immature RBCs are known as reticulocytes. Okay, friends. So your option A brilliant crease blue, option B new methylene blue, option C A and B, and option D none. Friends, the right answer is option C A and B, that is brilliant crease blue, and B methylene new methylene blue is the stains used to identify the reticulocytes. Moving to our 37th question. Erythropoietin is formed in. Friends, what do you mean by erythropoietin? Erythropoietin is a hormone produced primarily by our kidneys. Okay, erythropoietin short form you can also call it as EPO. So it is a kind of hormone which are primarily produced by our kidney. So your option A kidney, option B bone marrow, option C A and B, and option D none. Friends, the right answer is kidney is erythropoietin is formed by kidney. Okay, so moving on to our 38th question. What are the stains used for blood smear study? Option A Wright stain, option B Giemsa stain, option C Leishman stain, and option D field stain, and option E all. So friends, what are the different kinds of stain which will be used for the blood smear study? So on answer E all. So these are all the different kinds of stain which we will be using for our blood smear study. Moving to our 39th question. Stains that are made up of combination of acid and basic dyes are called as what? Option A Romanowski stain, option B Giemsa stain, option C Leishman stain, and option D field stain. So they are asking the combination of acid and basic dyes, so obviously that will be option A Romanowski stain is the kind of stain which will be made up of with a combination of acid and basic dyes. Okay, friends, So, moving on to our 40th question. Which is the largest cell in bone marrow? Option A megakaryocyte, option B megakaryoblast, option C promegakaryocyte, and option D none. So the right answer is option A, megakaryocyte is the largest cell in the bone marrow. Moving on to our 41 question. What is a normal platelet size? Just now we have discussed regarding the normal size of a RBC. Right now we are going to discuss regarding the platelet. So option A 2 to 10 micrometers, option B 2 to 7 micrometers, option C 1 to 4 micrometers, and option D 2 to 9 micrometers. So friends, the right answer is answer C, that is 1 to 4 micrometer is the normal platelet size. Moving to our 42nd question. Name the needle used for bone marrow aspiration. As you all know that bone marrow aspirations can be done by our specialist doctors itself, right? Physician itself. So we the technicians can't do the bone marrow aspirations. So they'll be using a different kind of needle for the bone marrow aspiration techniques. So what are they? Option A Salhas needle, option B Klimas, option C Jamshedis, and option D all. So friends, the right answer is answer D all. These three kinds of needles can also be used for the bone marrow aspiration. Moving to our 43rd question. Bone marrow is composed of option A red and yellow marrow, option B fat cells, option C A and B, and option D none. So friends, the right answer is answer C, A and B, that is bone marrow is made up of, composed of red and yellow marrow and also fat cells. Moving to our 44th question. Bone marrow examination help in the diagnosis of what? Option A multiple myeloma, option B aplastic anemia, option C Gaucher's disease, and option D all. So friends, the right answer is answer D all. Bone marrow examination can help in the diagnosis for all these diseases, that is multiple myeloma, aplastic anemia, and also for the Gaucher's disease. Moving to our 45th question. What is the full form of G6PD? Option A glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase, option B glucose 6 phosphorus dehydrogenase, option C none, and option D both A and B. So friends, the right answer and the right full form of G6PD is glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase is the correct full form of G6PD. So moving on to our 46th question. The characteristics erythrocyte found in pernicious anemia is. Erythrocyte found in the pernicious anemia is option A microcytic, option B spherocytic, option C hypochromic, and option D macrocytic. So in pernicious anemia, we'll be finding the erythrocytic in the form of option D, that is macrocytic is the right answer. So moving on to our 47th question. Cells for transport of O2 and CO2, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide, are option A erythrocytes, which are also called as RBCs, option B granulocytes, option C lymphocytes, and option D thrombocytes, that is platelets. Okay, so the right answer, the cells which will carry oxygen and carbon dioxide are erythrocytes, which are also called as RBCs, that is red blood cells. Moving to our 48th question. Erythropoietin acts to option A shorten the replication time of the granulocytes, option B stimulate RNA synthesis of erythroid cell, option B increase colony stimulating factor produced by the B lymphocyte, and option D decrease the release of marrow reticulocytes. Friends, the right answer is answer B erythropoietin. They will stimulate the RNA synthesis of the erythroid cells. Okay friends, next moving on to our 49th question. Which of the following is most closely associated with iron deficiency anemia? Option A iron overload in tissue, option B target cells, option C basophilic stippling, and option D chronic blood loss. So the right answer is answer D, that is chronic blood loss. Because of this chronic blood loss, the patient will be suffering from the iron deficiency anemia. So next, moving on to our 50th question. The most likely cause of the macrocytosis that often accompanies anemia of myelofibrosis is option A folic acid deficiency, option B increased reticulocyte count, option C inadequate B12 absorption, and option D pyridoxine deficiency. So friends, the right answer is folic acid deficiency. Why? Because folic acid deficiency, what we are It is actually accompanied by the myelofibrosis. So myelofibrosis is often accompanied by the folate deficiency, which causes the microcytic anemia. So the answer will be folic acid deficiency. Okay friends. So moving on to our 51 question. Thalassemia are characterized by your option A, structure abnormalities in the hemoglobin molecule. Option B, absence of iron in hemoglobin. Option C, decrease in rate of heme synthesis. And option D, decrease rate of globin synthesis. So the right answer is decrease rate of globin synthesis. If the globin chain is not properly well synthesized, then you will be getting thalassemia. Okay friends, moving on to our 52nd question. The characteristics morphology feature in lead poisoning is option A, macrocytosis. Option B, target cells. Option C, basophilic stippling. And option D, Rolex formation. So the right answer is basophilic stippling is the right answer. Moving on to our 53rd question. Which of the following types of polycythemia is severely burned patient most likely to have? Option A, polycythemia vera. Option B, polycythemia secondary to hypoxia. Option C, relative polycythemia associated with dehydration. And option D, polycythemia associated with renal disease. So friends, the right answer is answer C, relative polycythemia associated with dehydration. These type of polycythemia can be seen in severely burned patients. So friends, moving on to 54th question. The M:E ratio in erythroleukemia is usually, what do you mean by M:E? That is myeloid is to erythroid ratio in erythroleukemia is usually option A, normal. Option B, high. Option B, low. And option D, variable. So the right answer is answer C, low is the right answer. So friends, next our 55th question is, it's a case study kind of question friends, so just be careful while reading the question. A 40-year-old man had an erythrocyte count of 2.5 into 10 to the power of 6 microliters, hematocrit is of 22% and a reticulocyte count is 2.0%. So which of the following statement best describe in his condition? So it's a case study type question. A 40-year-old man who is having a erythrocyte count of 2.5 into 10 to the power of 6 microliters and hematocrit is 22% and his reticulocyte count is 0.2%. So which of the following statement can be best described? Option A, the absolute reticulocyte count is 50 into 10 to the power of 3 microliters, indicating that the bone marrow is not adequately compensating for the anemia. Option B, that reticulocyte count is greatly increased, indicating an adequate bone marrow response for this anemia. Option C, the absolute reticulocyte count is 500 into 10 to the power of 3 microliters, indicating that the bone marrow is adequately compensating for the anemia. Option D, the reticulocyte count is slightly increased, indicating an adequate response to the slight anemia. So friends, the right answer is answer A, the absolute reticulocyte count is 50 into 10 to the power of 3 per microliter. That will be indicating the bone marrow is not adequately compensating for the anemia is the right answer. So friends, these are the hematology part 3 questions, practice MCQs. Hope you like it. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you friends.